Halo series show, where do we start with this one? There's so much we could say. Uh,
Yeah, I was just it's more of what isn't bad is where you have to go with it.
mhm.
You could start there. Do you have any pressing opinions you want to address that maybe people I don't know.
Who were those? Who the fuck were those humans in the beginning? Um, why should I care about them? And I want to talk about the dumbest thing I've ever seen in cinema, which is where that fucking Chinese guy or whatever, like he's never seen the Covenant before. These 10-foot tall elites. He doesn't know who they are. They even verbalize that in the show. And then
Uh-huh.
all of a sudden he sees Master Chief drop in with the other Spartans and he starts shooting at Master Chief. It's like, at least you know who that guy is. What the fuck are
Yeah,
those alien things?
I couldn't
It
even
makes
believe
no
that.
sense. I was just like, I couldn't believe what I was watching. I
Yeah.
couldn't believe it.
So when it first started, like I had actually like when they were interacting at the card table, I actually thought that wasn't that bad. I was like, this is kind of cool, get a
Mm-hmm.
different perspective. But they just ended up killing everybody. All that like interaction was like pointless because everybody
Yeah, all
just
those
died.
characters are useless
And I'm
now.
just like, and all of this is building up to just him being alone with this girl. And I'm just gonna skip ahead what I think this is going on. I think this is a copy of The
Oh
Mandalorian.
my goodness, we haven't even talked prior to this
Okay, so I'm
us
just gonna skip
recording
to the
here, but
head.
I was going to
So
say the
she's
same
acting
thing.
like Baby Yoda. Now,
Right,
now she's on a
exactly.
trip forever with Master Chief, and we all already had this story. So I'm just like, that's not even original.
Right.
Um, yeah, that's a big problem right there.
Yeah. Yeah, they must have seen The Mandalorian like, oh, this is something that clearly
In
works.
in
Let's
s-
do
in, s-
that. But it's
and
like
somebody
the original
commented,
story was amazing. Why would you have to make this? Why would you have to copy something else? And so recent too. We just had The
yeah.
Mandalorian like feels like a few weeks ago still. It's like, what the
Yeah, and
hell?
then also I just heard somebody comment on just Master Chief's voice, and it does sound like the Mandalorian.
Yeah,
And
it
somebody just
really
said that.
does. Yeah.
They was like the way it's yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. Since it's not canon, it's like hard to. I'm trying to like analyze it based on somebody that if I analyze it based on somebody that's never played Halo or anything like that, I was kind of bored in a weird way. It was dragging a little too much. It was the best part was just the fact that like as a nostalgic person, I like the fact just seeing Halo on the screen is just like I
Yeah.
like that. I do enjoy just seeing, characters and this environment displayed, but then my heart's broken at the same time because it's not representing, what we know and love
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah,
So,
for me, I mean, I'm gonna be real harsh here, but it's like only because I'm biased. I'm a real fan. I mean, both of us have played Halo for the past like 20 years. Like, I think this is like a legitimate like 1 out of 10. Like, it would be a 3 out of 10 if it had no association with Halo. Like, it would literally go up. It's just to me, it's just it's a mediocre sci-fi, and it's only Halo in name.
I'm gonna go ahead and jump to it was disrespectful to have him take off his helmet immediately. Even the Mandalorian didn't take off his helmet. I mean, in the first episode,
Yeah, there was
it's
some
just
build up.
it's
Yeah,
almost like they're saying "fuck you." I'm sorry if I'm cursing, but they're just like, "We don't
yeah,
care what you think, and we're gonna prove we don't care." Like that's
yeah.
actually like a jab.
Yeah, it is.
I
Oh, you got to hear what Pablo Schreiber said, the guy that plays Master Chief. Now, I didn't hate him as an actor. I think he's like fine. I actually think if they're gonna pick somebody to look like Chief or something like that, like he's fine. Helmet obviously came off too early, but he only played like one game ever in his lifetime, and then he said it was important for us to take off his helmet early so that you divorce the idea of yourself as Master Chief, like the fans or whatever, like divorce their like he wants to break that barrier. He said he wanted to do that, and I'm like, why? Like, why wouldn't you want the viewers to feel like um they're
because
acting
they
as Master
can't,
Chief?
and this is just like the Patriots. And I was like, "What are you talking about?" I forgot who he told me like what he said about it. It's like it's hard to satisfy people when the expectations are high, and so they're
Oh, that was
cowards, and they're just
who
like,
was that? Rex Ryan from the Jets. Yeah, he said that.
yeah.
The best place to be is when expectations are high, and these guys, I don't know, they clearly dropped the fucking
And they
ball.
crumbled. They're just like, we can't do it. We can't meet expectations. You know what's amazing? We have Harry Potter and we have Lord of the Rings. These have high expectations because they're amazing books. Yet they didn't break canon, because if something is good and people like it, then it's going to be good. It's not telling another story is the risk. They think that's less risk. It's actually way more risk to do what they did. I
Yeah. Yeah. And it's weird too, because they're like on their social medias, they're trying to like give backstory to who these characters are from the games. If you haven't played the games, it's like, why are you even doing that? This isn't canon. You said it's not canon. Why are you trying to even why are we even trying to crisscross here these two universes? What the hell? Don't even bring up the games. And I'm going to say something pretty hard hitting here. If you haven't played the games and you haven't been a Halo fan for the past 20 years, don't act like you know what's good for the franchise. Don't act like this is your opinion literally does mean less than people like us that have played for the past 20 years and have a serious. We've been following this for a long time. Like
yeah.
there are people out there that think that this is fine, like this is good, like at least we got something for Halo. It's like no, like there's this idea, Daniel, that well, eventually this hasn't ruined anything yet. Eventually we'll get the real movie that's canon, right? It's like maybe not, because if this were to do good, it's like no, this is the standard. They think this is fine. They think this is what we want. Like if everyone was just to say this is okay, that's where this is going. So you do need to push back if you don't like the show, because
ruining not only Halo, but they are ruining every other game concept that they want to make movies or TV shows. They're butchering all of it because throughout Hollywood we have Assassin's Creed and a massive failure, but a fantastic story on its own that didn't need to be altered, and this is happening again. And I was also going to say the Star Wars franchise, if you're somebody that's saying that this series is acceptable, you're no different than somebody that's saying the new 3 Star Wars movies that just came out were acceptable. It's like you're ignorant to what, I don't know, why it was good in the first place. And
clearly these people aren't fans that are saying that, or if they're fans, they're
not fans.
They're operating under, if they think they're fans, whatever, they're operating under this consumer mindset, which is just like, I'm just gonna, whatever Hollywood throws at me, I'm gonna eat it up. And it's like, that's the dumbest thing ever. There's people that just want to believe things are good. I noticed that. Like, people want to think this is good. Like, just for no reason. They know it's bad, but like, man, I want to see this succeed. And they'll like try to will it into existence online and prop it up. It's like, no, it's a bad show. It's okay to admit that it's bad television. It's a mediocre sci-fi. It's only Halo in name. I don't know. What's funny too, Daniel? Like, don't you feel like there's the things that are CGI in this movie or the show, sorry, are wrong. Like the suits need to be CGI. Instead, Daniel, they're CGIing like the guns, and
because it's too expensive for them to do it. And also, if you guys don't know, it was $10 million an episode, and there's no excuse for the bad CGI in this. It's just really bad.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Marvel Iron Man, he had a CGI suit and everybody loved it. So that's just one example. You can do it, and you should definitely do it for Master Chief at least, or the Spartans at least. I would do it for.
And I think you brought up that the elites are way too big, like in relation to Master Chief. And I think that's because in post, they did the CGI in post, obviously. Like, I don't know what he was looking at when he was fighting them. But he's only, I think in real life, he's 6'5" or 6'6" or something like he's clear. Master Chief's supposed to be 7. I think they made the elites too tall, like, and they didn't shrink them down in post or something like that. I don't know, and so it looks a little awkward. I'm not gonna lie. And then
they just don't know what they just don't know what elite
the size
looks
discrepancy like. Too. With him is bad, but then you look at the females, Daniel, that were coming in, and like one duels like 2 elites, and it's like, okay, not a chance. She is like a peanut compared to them. Like, there's no way that she fucking slid by 2 of them and killed them both. You know what I mean? It's just not very believable.
Yeah. Yeah, what else is there? Oh yeah, I don't believe that his size is really like he's a big sized person. They didn't fool me. They only showed him next to a child, and that's just real easy to like try to make him look like he's big. But I don't mind it. He just looks like an average guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that
the suit looks like plastic. I'm sorry, man. It just doesn't look like it's metal. I don't believe that it's metal. And that's where you need CGI.
Yeah, you do need CGI, and they just didn't care to.
Yeah.
What did somebody say? Somebody said this would be a 10 out of 10 CGI fan-made film. Like if
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
fan-made, it
exactly.
looked like a fan-made film. It's like, oh man, this is fantastic. But for the amount of money they put into it, it is nowhere close.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
What'd you think about that? These stupid key artifacts that they put like in the show, like that he finds and he's like blessed or something, so he can harness the power. Just something crazy. And
It's unnecessary because Master Chief is supposed to already be like powerful, but they just needed to like, yeah, I don't know.
you see, there's rumors, Daniel, that elite that saw him grab that artifact or whatever. I don't even know what they're calling it. I'm probably fucking this all up, but that's supposed to be like the arbiter or something. And it's like, okay, like
What?
maybe, yeah, like
Oh
maybe, like
shit! They all look the same. You know what's funny? Okay, so elites do look the same. I agree, but like you got to make them look a little
you got to
different. Give
change
them
the
like
color of their armor,
no,
yeah,
yeah,
or
change the color of
something
their
like
armor
that.
a little bit. Even like the Halo 2 series, which by the way, those cutscenes were way better than this show. But the elites look different, and they talk to each other differently. There was just like a realness to them.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, yeah. It was weird. Like the CGI or whatever was like way better. Like there's more detail to the Halo 2 elites in the anniversary. Much more detail. Um, Yeah, these don't I don't know. They messed up these elites. Their helmets are strange. It just to me they don't look like elites. And we've played the elites have changed a little bit throughout all the games, and to me these just like they're elites, but not. I don't know. They could have done a lot better.
You're just afraid to do
Oh,
anything
Daniel,
exactly.
I got to speak to this because I want to talk about how I mean, they couldn't take a single aspect of the game and like put it into this show and make it work. And there was things they could have stolen. Like as an example, like the end of the first episode when he's getting away, Daniel, instead of like getting away in a warthog or something really interesting. One, also, why is he running away from his own fucking chain of command? So stupid. Like really fucking dumb. I can't stand that already. But it's like, why didn't they have a real getaway instead of him, Daniel, just like activating this, figuring out on the spot how to activate this random artifact key or whatever the heck this fucking thing is, and then just getting away that way. Like Daniel, it EMPs everything else, but not his ship. Like it empowers his ship.
Like,
It's
oh
like
wow,
what am
how
I
lucky,
watching?
you
Oh,
know?
and the other funny part too is like you think when he takes off his helmet, Daniel, it's like like he'll put it like right back on. First off, dumb reason for him to have taken it off. That didn't make any sense. So he takes it off. It's like, okay, I'll put it back on now. It's like, no, Daniel, it stays off for the rest of the show. It's like, what?
It was
Like,
so
why?
stupid. And he was just finished saying that he needs his helmet because it has all this information that he needs to see.
Yeah.
It's like he didn't
Yeah,
need it anymore.
clearly not.
You know what? Actually, they do have a justification
Because
because
yeah, they
they
had
were tracking
control.
him. Apparently, you can't track him if his helmet's off. Like
Yeah, that's new.
that's the thing. It's like, oh, we lost him. Where is he? Like his helmet's off. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Ugh.
Anyway, I don't know. What would you rate it? I'm giving it a fucking 1 out of 10. I don't care. It's really hard for me to be nice here.
Just because I don't know more about it, and if I'm just rating the show on just, I'm being really generous with this. If I really just have never seen anything else, and I'm basing it on the story that they're telling, not the story that I want to hear, I might go to a 5 or 6. I'd probably go to a 6, honestly. And that's just because I don't know. Let's just say it's fresh and I have no idea. Now, as a fan, this is, oh my god, it's just sad. I don't even know what is a sad rating. It's
I don't know. I mean, to me, it's like
3.
5. When you get like
I'm
5 or
really
less,
trying
it's
to
pretty
be
much
honest here.
unwatchable. It's just not even. To me, I don't think. You know what I'm doing, Dan? I'm looking
I'm
at the
putting it
show.
1 just because it's like they're disrespecting.
I'm looking at the show, Daniel, and I'm thinking, does this need to exist? And I don't think it does. Like in any like, whether I'm a fan or not, I don't think this is good television. It's like, yeah, are we gonna watch it because we're curious? Like, yeah, we are. I'm a little pissed that I'm even gonna do that, to be honest, but I am curious. And just because I'm curious to see how bad they fuck everything up. Like that's really more what I'm interested in. I don't really have hope for this show. I'm just like, man, like what are they going to ruin
Yeah,
next? And by the
it's
way, just
become
bad acting.
dated
Like
just because it's just you
Miranda
know.
Keys and Captain Keys, whatever, they were color casted black, and then Miranda, his daughter, just not a good actor. I don't know where they found these people. Just like not believable at all.
And why are they putting keys as just like they're putting the entire thing as just like they're the enemy, and that just doesn't. You have no hope in anything. It's like, what does Master Chief stand for? Is he just a rebel? Is like that's all he is a rebel? Like I
Yeah, it's
never
like
got that vibe. Like the characters, what his decisions are made are all messed up, and all the respect that anybody would have for Master Chief in the old games is just gone. You know, it's just like okay, just a Mandalorian. He's just going off
yeah.
does his own thing, and yeah, he always did do his own thing, but it wasn't out of the best interest of the UNSC or just what they were doing. He would just if he was going to break a rule, it was for the betterment of humanity. It wasn't. Actually, he doesn't really break rules either. They kind of do trust him to do his own thing, and he doesn't need
I
other
mean, I
Spartans.
think
By
I
the
guess
way, he
technically
does
right.
not need other Spartans. Like that is the thing that
Yeah,
it keeps.
it's true.
They started with Halo 5, maybe even No, it started with Halo 5. Definitely, that's yeah. And this is going with the same route.
And they could have made him alone, Daniel, which is like when you play Master Chief in the games, you're alone a lot of times. It's like they could have simply done that, here in the show. Daniel CGI'd his suit, and like it probably would have costed less than what they literally did, and it'd be a better story to see him alone more often.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
And
yeah,
I don't really understand.
one last thing.
Also, what guns were they using to obliterate children? Because I want to know what guns those were. Holy shit!
Those were just the plasma guns.
No, they were just the like they have way too much power with those. It doesn't really make any sense.
Maybe it makes sense against like human flesh and stuff. Maybe that does.
No,
make
like
sense, but,
like a plasma rifle's doing that. That's like a cannon they just shot.
Yeah, I agree. It was pretty brutal.
But I don't believe that at all.
But I want to leave one last thing here. Why are they scared to just do a normal fucking good and bad story? And that like, why isn't it just Chief and the humans against the Covenant? Why do we have to have the stupid politics surrounding the humans and the Spartans? What the fuck is that? What it would literally be better if it was whatever the fuck that is. Like just
they don't care about the story. They look at that. They disrespect all the characters, all the storylines with it, and they're saying, "I'm gonna just do whatever I want to do with it." But I mean, that makes sense to some degree. It's, oh yeah, I want to be original, like the new Batman. I want to be original, put my own place on it. But what you can't do is disrespect the characters if you're going to put them in there. Like like you do have room to improvise, obviously, with all books and books made with movies or whatever. You have room to improvise, but you can't just if you're pigging back off of whatever was there, but you're not really doing anything with it. You're just stealing it, and so you want to act like you can make your own art, but you're just using somebody else's art.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, so it's just like
and doing a shitty rendition of it. I mean, it's just anyway. I don't know what. That's 18 minutes. It's pretty long.
Yeah, go on and on.
We could go on for fucking ever, and believe me, we want to. But I don't know if you made it this far in the video. Fuck yeah. Fucking I'll probably cut all that out in the end. Anyway, all right. Yeah, that's it.
Yes, there we go.